Thanks for joining me today, Ashley. Great chance for us to catch up before we meet in person at the ClaimsTech live event on the 30th of November, where you'll be showcasing some of the wonderful things DWF360 do. But first of all, how are you and how is life at DWF360?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, and nice to see you again, Sue. I'm looking forward to the event on the 30th. 360 is an interesting time at the moment. We're obviously well in a hard market for insurers right now, and they're ultimately our clients. And it's all about how we can help them save costs, really, and cost to serve, which is what we bring to the table for our existing customers. And what really we're promoting out there is let's have an opportunity to talk about how we can look at your cost to serve, reduce your indemnity spend, and overall use technology to do that. So it's an interesting time at the moment, and we're very busy with levels of interest coming through.
Which is great to hear. And in terms of those who maybe don't know about DWF360, it's perhaps a new name to them, or they're unsure of what it is that you do. What is it that DWF360 are offering to the claims market, Ashley?
So DWF360 is a technology and risk insurance software business that's part of a law firm, a global PLC business, that ultimately we are part of the law firm to deliver services to the law firm itself. So we provide the claims solution for a division called DWF Claims on a global level for a TPA service in the marketplace. But we also provide our solution to DWF clients and net new clients to DWF who want to take on board our insurance software technology to either, as I say, reduce indemnity spend, reduce the cost to serve, improve the customer journey, and hopefully engage their policyholders in a better way.
Okay. And in terms of product lines across insurance that you're able to support, is it limited to motor, or does it expand further than that?
No, it's the traditional lines, casualty, property, motor, are sort of the top three tier lines of insurance that we cover. We also have some what we call verticals in the pet insurance space, warranty, travel. But we're also then focusing on incident management with our product called EvoSafe, which dovetails into our claims management platform to help corporates with incident management before issues become a claim. And then obviously our software then can track incidents through to claim itself and settle as quickly as possible at the lowest cost. Okay,
so end to end, we're incorporating that as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Great, and really diverse in terms of product lines as well, which is great to hear.
Indeed, yeah.
The ClaimsTech event this year is focusing, and its theme is show me the money and show me happy customers, which doesn't always come together in some instances and in some tech solutions. How has yours been able to support that at the moment, do you think, Ashley?
So key driver, as I say, is reducing that cost to serve and indemnity spend ultimately, and having a better view over your book of business, certainly from the underwriter perspective. So our solution is key for that. So we've got customers that came on board with traditional business problems in their claims team, starting with that journey, where they were having high process activities, having to throw a lot of people at resolving claims, especially when volumes hit in certain cycles, as it does. And they were throwing people at a problem, which can solve it, but it's not a long-term thing, and it's not sustainable, especially with given the tight margins that insurers and MGAs deal with right now. So we offer our solution to reduce that pain effectively, and we've got happy customers with excellent retention, and even through the COVID era, that's way back now in our minds, where we retained all of our clients, which was really nice to see, because we were successful in reducing claim headcount by 50% or more. But they did manage to repurpose those roles, which is excellent, but also maintaining the same level of claim coverage. So the claim volume that was coming in was increasing, but our solution dropping in there managed to smooth the journey for them so that they could handle more volume, but for less cost.
And is that because your solutions are driven towards automation as part of that process, Ashley, or?
Yeah, very much so. So what we do is it's not always about technology, it's about the people that use it. The technology is a great tool to have. But if you don't have the people on board in that journey, in terms of the claims handlers in the team in particular, you have to have them on the journey. So what we do is we engage a bit of a people process journey, where we look at how they're currently operating their claims model and operational model. And then we look at how we can improve that, and then how we map that to our solution. So we then use our automation tech tools in our Evo Claim solution to drive that journey for them, so it can be a guided journey, so you can de-skill the workforce. So you've got a step-by-step guided journey on each line of business on how you deal with a typical claim, and a scripted journey. We look at predicting outcomes, so you can look at benchmarking previous claims that have come in from a FNOL perspective and say, okay, this claim is going to handle itself in X timeline at Y cost, chance of litigation is Z, so that the handler has a view of that as soon as the claim hits. But then it's back to how you keep the communication there across the supply chain, but also across the policyholders themselves, if it's a B2C line, in particular with email flow and using the multiple channels we use today with WhatsApp and Messenger and so on, so that you can keep engaged with the policyholder, so they're aware of where they're currently at. Because the frustrations with the customer journey start with, I'm making a claim, and it's an emotive experience, and you just want it resolved as quickly as possible. So our solution is there to automate that process, but also keep the end policyholders as happy as we can.
It sounds though, Ashley, as if it's not just a one size fits all. You're looking at the full strategy end to end, and then adapting what you've got to fit niche in terms of what the insurer is looking for. Is that fair? Yeah.
So it's not an out of the box solution. It can be, but typically, because we're looking at various different problems, which can be people in the business in terms of culture and how they're actually operating their claims journey. So it's streamlining that. It's the technology piece. But then we might have to make changes to our technology platform to fit 100% what they're looking for. And that's what we bring to the table, and that is a differentiator of what we do. So it's not just a square peg round hole of let's buy a solution and make it work the best we can. This is a solution that is 100% fit. And we've got one of our customers attending the event at the end of this month, where they'll be saying that. They'll be talking about their experience and how the evolution of where we started, hence it's called Evo Claim, the journey with them and where they are today. And I'm sure that will resonate with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms about, we've said kind of COVID's in the past, I think we still seem to refer to it as this new world. But what do we think from your side at DWF360, the new world's looking for in a claims process and to keep customers happy?
I think it's back to preempting. So it's the predictive outcomes piece. I think that we've just started the journey there, where we're looking at past books of business in terms of claims that have impacted, and then trying to model an outcome. And it's trying to be predictive in terms of what is a claims journey going to play out like, because that then will gear the whole customer journey in terms of how their experience is handled. Because there's no point protracting a claim out in lots of discussions and show me the evidence and send, email flow and email traffic and protracting it out. If you can make a decision pretty quickly and just settle it. And it will reduce your cost to serve on that claim. You can move on to the next claim, and you don't have a backlog of volume. So that's where the market's going. We're obviously in a hard market. The recession is pretty much here. So the focus on claims, I think, for the underwriters in particular, is going to be quite key going forward. So we can bring the smooth out the process, keep the end policyholder as happy as possible, but produce the right MI back to the underwriters to make those key decisions on pricing going forward.
Yeah. And I think with those customers as well, it's the managing the expectations, isn't it? So, the claims process that's unfamiliar to them. And if there's some tech that's able to kind of drive some expectations of the customer in terms of timelines, etc., well, that is bound to drive a happy customer, you'd think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think it's just like in all our businesses, expectation setting is key. And I think the customer journey on the insurance track is paramount there, especially with claims.
Yeah. And what do you see evolving in the future in terms of DWF360? So what are going to be the additional bits of tech that you're perhaps going to add on, or AI, or how do you see it looking in the future?
So we're looking at smoothing out the MI journey. So instead of being quite prescriptive about what MI we produce and being probably almost like these are the charts you've got to look at every day and stop there. We're putting the power of self-service in the hands of the insurers and the claims handlers themselves. So you can pretty much almost put a Google search in to find the results that you want and ask for a pie chart or a table or an Excel spreadsheet, and the MI will produce that for you. Okay. So we're taking the journey to that length. We're looking at, as I say, the predictive outcomes piece. I think that's an important part of the journey, and then back to self-service for ultimately the insurers themselves. So making sure that they've got on their fingertips the results and MI that they need, so they can drill down to a policy at a claim level on demand at any point in time without having to go to the handler or a TPA service to track down where's this claim currently at, what's the potential exposure, has the reserve moved. All of that is self-service and alerts can be set. So we're taking the journey to that level. In terms of coverage, we're focusing on the UK market as we would, but because we're part of DWF as a global law firm, we've also got clients in Australia and the US and across Europe. So the next footprint for us will be looking at Australia more, because that's a growing market there, obviously in a hard market because they're balancing off of the Lloyd's market. But the US is huge. The impact over there for multiple lines and inland marine in particular is quite key in terms of our growth model.
And how does the US sit with the UK in terms of embracing tech, Ashley?
They're very open to it, but they're quite measured as well. So it's not like they want a shiny new toy. They want to get the basics right, but they also want the shiny new toys as well. But they're quite willing to wait for those. So they want to just make sure that they either transition from another software provider as quickly and smoothly as possible and as accurately as possible, and then bolt on the other journeys in different phases. And that's back to what we can deliver here. We don't like to go big bang with just take the whole system, we'll migrate everything across. We can do that, but typically it's a case of if you take the handlers on the journey and our customers on that journey on a step-by-step basis, they're much more comfortable with that transition. Well,
it's back to that point as well. It doesn't matter how good the tech is. If people aren't embracing it and using it as it should, you won't drive the benefits. So
absolutely, yeah. That can be any tech. Yeah,
exactly. But to consider the people on that journey as well, I think is key, definitely, to that success. Yeah. And you drive to make the MI more accessible, more free in terms of, and less prescriptive. Has that been driven from your customer requests? Is it something that you've seen the market needs, or what's kind of driven that investment in DWF360 to do that?
Customer requests, definitely. And really the journey that we've been on in the last sort of 23, 24 years of MI has always been paramount. It always is in the insurance industry, but it's been quite reactive, still is in many, many areas where the data that you're looking at and dealing with to make decisions is probably 1-2 months out of date because of the way that the information flows around the market. So I think bringing on-demand, on-tap MI to as many people as possible in the insurance sector should be the name of the game, and then everyone's working off an even keel.
And as you say, it's then driving the correct pricing, yes, which makes it successful for everyone. So absolutely key. You mentioned partners before, and as you say, you're going to bring one along to the live ClaimsTech event, so that we can hear directly the solutions been implemented and how they've realised the benefits. But in terms of your partners in general, what would you have said perhaps are the things that they say are the biggest wins they get out of using either part of or all of your software and tech?
The biggest wins are definitely the customer engagement. We call it customer engagement. I think it's back to the keeping the handlers on board. And if they're on board, they will use the software and they'll use it very, very well. If they're not, then you end up with obviously a situation with either lack of use or poor data. And the insurance industry, back to MI, it's only as good as the data that you put in. So I think what is key is making sure that you capture as much information as you can right from the outset of first notification of loss, or even ahead of that incident capture before it becomes a claim, which is why we launched our EvoSafe product and your Notify mobile app. Because once you capture the right information at the right time at the outset, it can flow through the whole process a lot smoother, produce the best MI outcome that you can, and make the right decisions.
Yeah, and I think, as we say, in terms of the industry itself and claims, I think more and more of that visibility and the prevention of claims, perhaps, or understanding what's going to happen with a claim seems to be key.
Absolutely.
Future and what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And in terms of key things for you personally within DWF, I guess, what's on your list for achievements in the next 12 months?
Next 12 months are opening new markets in terms of different lines of cover. So whilst we're quite widespread at the moment, we're looking for more niches, certainly from the MGAs and the startups, so that we can help them with claim solutions that once the claims hit and they launch, we can smooth the process out as quickly as possible. Okay. So we're looking for new engagements with new lines that we're not currently covering, but also obviously new markets with expanding in the US and Australia. Exciting
times ahead, I'd have said.
Definitely.
So thanks ever so much for today, Ashley. Very much looking forward to seeing you at the ClaimsTech live event. A heads up of what you're going to be showcasing, and I think it'll be great for the audience. So thank you very much for today, and I will see you at the event.
Yep, thank you very much, Sue. I'll see you there.